um, research and teaching purposes. And so with this, you can perform stemming. So stemming is basically cutting words down to their roots. Like when you have words like, let me say, communication, and then when you apply stemming to it, it chops the word down to, it comes from the word com, and then tokenization is basically splitting the words of a sentence into individual entities, like into separate words and entities like that. Then spaces is relatively young compared to NLTK, but spaces is mostly used to develop softwares and the rest. And spaces comes with because spaces is written in Python, is quite fast. It's actually faster than NLTK. NLTK is slow, and spaces is more faster than NLTK. So spaces is mostly used to develop some natural language processing softwares. And other libraries are TextBlob, CoreNLP, Genism, and Polyglot. And you can also there are some libraries you can import from sklearn that you can also use to perform some natural language processing tasks. These other libraries are not as big or important as NLTK and spaces. Like spaces comes with different, you can use different language libraries like Spanish, Chinese, Italian. You can perform natural language processing techniques on various languages, about 50 languages or so, using spaces. And you can't do that with the other libraries. Other libraries are just limited to specific tasks. So let's quickly look at the real life applications of natural language processing. First, we have sentiment analysis. So sentiment analysis is basically detecting, sentiment analysis, also known as opinion mining or emotion AI, is the use of NLP, text analysis, and computational linguistics and biometrics to systematically identify, extract, and quantify and study effective state and subjective information. What this basically means is sentiment analysis is used to detect emotions in text, like reviews on products, or it's basically used in marketing to see whether a product has positive or negative reviews, or maybe in Amazon you can use Amazon reviews to see whether a review of a product is negative or positive. You can also use movie reviews from IMDb and some other, basically text, any type of text you want. You can apply sentiment analysis and see whether the whole text or document is positive or negative. But the limitation of this is it doesn't understand sarcasm. It's actually quite smart, but it doesn't understand sarcasm, because with sarcasm you use totally positive words, but what determines sarcasm is the kind of tone you use, which space it doesn't have the access to. So, and you can also detect emojis. You can also detect emotions in emojis. On the emojis you use, you can tell whatever you mean to say with it. And when you apply exclamation marks and stuff like that, it also sees the importance or quantifies whatever you are doing, quantifies the word or sentence you made. Next is speech recognition. So this is
Can the next presenter come up now? Oluwadamilare Akimbode. Oluwadamilare Akimbode. Oluwadamilare Akimbode, can you start now?
Sorry, we had internet issues at Bincom here. At Yaba. So let me just go through it quickly and just go through it quickly.
Audu, if sorry about that, your time is up already. Let
okay.
Akimbode start his own.
Okay. Awesome.
You can stop sharing your screen now.
Yeah, I'm doing that. Am I still sharing my screen?
Yeah, you're still sharing your screen.
Oh, okay, sorry. Okay.
Amilare.
Please. Yeah, so good morning.
Good morning.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. May start now. What time is gone?
Yeah. So I'm presenting the topic building an intelligent CGP calculators, Ionic and vanilla JavaScript. So um, the lesson outlines the first one, introduction to Ionic. Then I'll talk about what exactly Ionic is and how it works. I also talk about the Ionic platform, Ionic features, creating your first Ionic app, and working with Ionic components. Then we'll try to develop the CGPA calculator back in JavaScript. So without taking much of our time, introduction to Ionic. Ionic is an amazing framework that helps you build mobile apps with web technology. So in this lesson, we'll learn about UI components Ionic offers. We will build real web apps that will be hosted on the web at the end of this presentation. So within this short period of time, we have a lot to cover. So, okay, Ionic allows you to build cross-platform application. You have one code base and you get mobile apps as well as web apps. Both cross-platform is that you can build your app for different platforms like the Android platform, the iOS platform, Electron. You can even have progressive web apps from most simple code base. In this lesson, we'll build an entire project and then build it step by step, adding features like navigation, getting the user to interact with our app, getting user interface, showing modals and alerts. So modals is just term for what exactly what exactly Ionic is an Ionic. Ionic in the end is about having one code base, which is the code base for your web and produces HTML, JavaScript, and CSS, which is what used to be normal user interfaces in the web. If you are probably a web developer, you'll be familiar with HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. So all these web technologies are bundled into Ionic, and they are available for us to use to build. So you can build an app for platforms with same code with minor adjustments. Like if I can write just one code. I can use the same code to build application for Android and use the same to build for iOS with just simple adjustments. Cool. So let me quickly rush to the Ionic platform. The Ionic platform is about Ionic, which in its core is a set of web components. The other hand are technology supported by modern browsers, which allows you to build your own HTML images that behind the scenes have more complex logic, something like apps components, something like the Ionic button, Ionic card, Ionic alerts, and all this. So, so in the past, you could build something like this on your own by writing your own HTML, adding your own CSS, adding your own JavaScript logic. But Ionic gives you such a functionality package of finished ready to use web components. And it has a lot of web components you can use. That is the core of Ionic and one of the basic core of Ionic, what it offers. Like offers you different web components that are ready to use. You just need to know how to use them. You don't really need to write your own HTML together, and they are just like ready made for you. It's just for you to know how to use each of these web components. So the suite of nicely styled to automatically have to involve on your web components which you can dump in your web project. So if probably you are designing your application, for instance, let me show you what I'm talking about here. Like this is an application, this is a web application here. I want to quickly inspect this now. Yeah, so the device that I'm using to inspect now is an Android device, and you can see the way it looks like. You can see the way the button looks like here. It's kind of rectangular without having handles on. But if I check on iPhone and reload it, you kind of see a different feel in the app, and you see that, oh, look at the button. You can see the angles is kind of different from that of Android. So that's one of the basic things Ionic offers. Automatically changes that. It's just dynamic. So um, these components are what you can see on the screen, but Ionic and the Ionic ecosystem is more than just that, because Ionic is not just a set of web components. Ionic is also the name of the company that developed these components, and this company has more than just this component suite. It also work on a tool called capacitor. And this capacitor is essentially a tool that is capable of taking your existing web app and wrapping it into to a native mobile app. So in the end, it gives you a native mobile app that runs on your web app, that runs your web app inside of it, but in a way that it is indistinguishable uh, from the user, or the user to a normal native app. I don't know if probably you are on the line of developing, or if you are not on the line, you probably uh, might have seen what a native app looks like and what a web app looks like. So this capacitor is the one that is in charge, or that helps you to wrap this web app into and make it look and feel exactly like a native mobile app. Um, so last but not the least, the Ionic platforms are a set of tools we use from the Ionic ecosystem. It also has the Ionic CLI, yes, which stands for Command Line Interface, which you can work which can work with other CLIs like the Angular CLI, React CLI, and Vue CLI behind the scenes. So Ionic on its own is they basically provide us web components, but at the same time we can integrate Ionic with other JavaScript framework and libraries to develop our mobile apps, our desktop apps, progressive web apps. So for this to happen, Ionic has its own CLI. This CLI also, when using it to develop for with different framework or library, it utilizes each of the CLI of the framework or library we are using it with. For instance, if I'm developing for Ionic and Angular, the Ionic CLI would definitely utilize the Angular CLI behind the scenes. So I don't need to start writing my commands in Angular, or writing Angular commands. If I write Angular commands for Ionic command on the CLI, it will definitely work. So this is the Ionic platform. These are the tools we work with in this lesson. We work with the Ionic CLI, we work with the web components, and we will not be working with the capacitor right now because we are not building a native mobile app. We're just building a web app. So this is a diagram to show you what the Ionic platform looks like. We have the Ionic web components. We have the capacitor that helps us wrap web applications into native mobile app, and we also have the Ionic CLI that utilizes other CLIs behind the scenes. So let's quickly talk about Ionic projects. With this knowledge in mind, we can create an Ionic project, which we'll do so in this section. This presentation is essentially about our app. It's all about the code we write to create a nice web application in the end. So we write our own code, and the code will be written in vanilla JavaScript. We won't be using any framework in this presentation. So we'll just be writing in a plain JavaScript. So in this presentation, our project is limited to our code written in JavaScript and the Ionic framework, which are the sets of Ionic components to get nice, rich web elements added to this app automatically. So in addition, the Ionic web components we are adding here are built with two called stencil. So the Ionic web components, they are not just from nowhere. They are built by the Ionic team, and the tool they use in building them is stencil. Stencil. In case we want to know how these components are developed. So in the end, you can build different kind of app based on your single code base. The app, and this is again done with capacitor or Cordova. So this is a diagram to show what an Ionic component looks like. So we have our code, we have a front-end framework. Can this? So we have for the Ionic component, we have our code, we have the front-end framework, we have the Ionic framework, which is a set of platform adapting the style components. So the front-end framework is optional, and this, like I said before, these components are developed with tool called stencil. So we can wrap our web app here from here into a native mobile app with either capacitor or Cordova, and we can do that for different platforms like the iOS, the Android, Electron for desktop apps, and progressive web apps. So to create a first Ionic app, what you need to do is visit the ioniframework.com and the Ionic. So under the docs, you see installations. You click on installations. Wait, you. So that's taking time to come up. So yeah, so under that, you click on installation. So Ionic apps are created and developed. To install it, you have to install the CLI first to be able to use Ionic. And to do that, you just
Damilare, your time is up. Thank you very much for your presentation. Audrey Farm and Damilare, really appreciate you this morning. We hope to to learn more from you guys someday. Thank you so much for this presentation. The time is over already. If there's any question, please direct it to the KD channel. Okay, direct it to them directly if you have any question concerning their presentation today. Okay, thank you very much. For this, I will now bring the session to an end. Thank you, guys.